Our availability is 24/7. With a lot of recovery, things are going to come up in the off hours and not just in that hour of therapy. So I get that 10 o'clock phone call of someone who's really suffering with something or really in an urge, whether it's relapse or just an intense feeling that they can't necessarily process. Having been in touch with a therapist, I can then utilize whatever the skill set the therapist is working on in that moment to strengthen that muscle. And also then be in communication with the therapist about, hey, here's what's happened, here's what we did. Because sometimes in these complicated cases, the client won't always say, hey, I had this experience and here's what happened to the therapist because they're seeing them 3 days later. So my coordination with the therapist ends up being a really big part of their process as well. Designing a treatment team is a really significant part of the work that we do. We end up building from all areas, and usually people need a village to be able to gather around them and someone to coordinate that village, because that's also a missing link from time to time. We use everything from nutritionists, trainers, therapists, specific therapists that are perhaps trauma-oriented if that's what the need is for the client, an eating disorder therapist specifically if that's for the need of the client, any neurofeedback or TMS. All of these are components that we can bring into play because the client often hasn't experienced that wide range of treatment. And in some cases, they have experienced that wide range of treatment, but without someone quarterbacking it the way that we do, so we can really use all the nutrition that they're getting from those people. With the acuity of our clients, it's not uncommon that they've been to multiple treatment centers or transitioned from therapist to therapist. And it's often common that under our care, they will experience that initially. And the importance of having someone like that on board is to make sure the continuity of care is really on point. So many balls get dropped along the way. There are so many cracks in the pavement that issues can fall into, behaviors can fall into, things that need to be communicated to the next team member that's taking over, that the client can't always be forthcoming with, that the family can't always be forthcoming with. So our experience with the client allows us a day-to-day interaction with them that gives us all of that information to bring to the next team.